Hey, and welcome back to Summit Railway. Today I've got a special treat for you. I brought you the Massoth reverse loop module and yeah. Das ist doch scheiße. Was? Warum? Ihr wollt mich alle verarschen. I will be right back. Hey, and welcome back to Summit Railway. Today I've brought a special treat for you, the Massoth reverse loop module. So I'd say we do an unboxing, see what's inside, and then we try it out. Let's do it. The module comes in this tiny box. Of course the switch doesn't come with the module, but we will need it anyways, so I brought it to the table, so to speak. And now let's see what's inside. We got the reverse loop module itself, and then we got some isolating connectors and some tiny pieces of track. Those will be the sensing track, I suppose, but more on that later. And then we got the manual, which will be very helpful. I read through the manual and I actually found some good information in it. Can you believe that? At first I'd like to point out some main characteristics of the module. You can supply power to it from 0 to 27 volts DC, and if you run it digitally like I do, you have to have 14 to 27 volts DC. It can switch 8 amps continuously and up to 16 amps of current for a short moment. This should be plenty of current to run your train through the reverse loop. Even if you have double or triple headed trains, this should be enough. And then we've got a bunch of schematics how to connect the module to the reverse loop and to the track. Right here we are looking at a way of connecting when you have an analog layout, and a couple pages before we have 3 different ways of connecting it when we run a digital layout. And of those 3 methods, I'm going to use the first one, which incorporates those sensing tracks. And this enables the module to sense in which direction the train is going, and it can switch the reverse loop without creating any short. Because if you use this method, which would be a little bit easier, the locomotive would run in the reverse loop, and then it has a for a tiny moment, it creates a short, and the module senses this short and switches around the track polarization. But with those sensing tracks, we can get rid of the short, and that's better for the switches, for the locomotives, for everything. So I will try to use the sensing tracks and this method of connection. This is the switch I'm going to use. It's a Pico radius 7 switch. I will connect the sensing tracks right at each end of the switch, and we will build a reverse loop between each end of the switch when we go outside. So first of all, I need to solder some of those lashes to the wire so we can connect the wires to the track. So, as simple as that. I have prepared all the wires we should need with those lashes that will connect to the isolating connector via those screws and therefore connecting to the track, making the connections to the sensing tracks, the power input connection and the power connection for the reverse loop. This is what it looks like right now. We've got the sensing tracks installed. They are completely isolated from either the layout, which is on the side of the switch, and also from the reverse loop, which will be connected between those two tracks. So the use of them is to sense a train going in or out, it doesn't matter, and to switch the polarity of the reverse loop before the train even hits the reverse loop, to get rid of the little short I was talking about earlier. We got the power supply, those two wires. We got the sensing track 1, those two wires. Sensing track 2 are those two wires. And we got the power supply for the reverse loop. Since it's completely isolated, those are these two wires. And of course we got the corresponding connections to make on the reverse loop module. So power input, power output for the reverse loop, and sensing track 1 to 4. We have 4 wires, so that makes sense, and that should be it. Ta-da! Just like that we got ourselves a temporary reverse loop, as you can tell. Up here we've got a switch we prepared in the workshop earlier, and then I've connected a bunch of track to make the loop. And of course we need to have some track here to simulate the rest of the layout. I've connected my digital central station to the reverse loop, to the input side. So as you remember, I've taken the switch as input side, and this is the reverse loop side, and then we have the sensor tracks. Let me show you a close-up. But you should already know all about this. Okay, no smoke so far, but no status LED either. So since we can't see anything and it doesn't get hot, I think we just try it and see what happens. Alright, moment of truth. Let's start the run. Oh, very nice. And we got a short. Okay, let's turn the switch. See if we got a short that way too. Oh yeah. Something is way wrong. As you can see, the sensing track is right here, and as soon as we drive over the sensing track we got a short. So that's what this module is supposed to prevent. Let's double check the wiring and see if I can find any mistakes I've made. I referred to the manual again, and I think I found a mistake. I've switched 2 wires around from the second sensing track. And I need a different screwdriver. It seems to be so simple, and then it isn't once you try it. Well, it still is simple, but there is a lot of potential to screw this up, as you can see. Okay, I released the emergency stop of the central station. I've heard the module, I've heard a clicking sound, and now let's try it. Jesus Christ. Still not good. I know I said this earlier, but now I figured it out. I would highly recommend you to use this schematic to connect your wires. I was using this one, and although it made it clear what to do, I have overlooked one specific detail. And that was they have connected, let's start that way, they have connected sensor track 1, sensor track 2, and then they put their power input plus and minus, so there it is a straight line. Input plus, output plus, sensor 1. Input minus, sensor 2, output minus. What I have done, I have put my power supply up here, and I made input plus and output plus on that side, but I had to switch it around. I hope that makes sense, because I was on that side. I'm actually on that side in the schematic and not on this side. Okay, so I had to switch around my output plus and minus, which I have done up here, and now it should work. Let's try it. Third time is a charm, I guess. Okay, once again, release stop. I've heard the clicking noise of the module again, and now let's run the train. Oh yeah. Look at that. Now it works. There we go. And I heard again a clicking noise of the module. Okay, let's try it one more time. Going across the sensing track nice and smooth. And most importantly, without any short. Running the loop. One important thing I should mention, the longest train you have has to fit between the sensing tracks, at least as long as it has any power supply or metal axles. Otherwise you will get a short. Alright, this should be it regarding the test of the Massoth return loop module. I am now pretty confident to use it on my layout permanently or temporary. At first I will use it temporary. You will see how and why I need it. And I hope you have learned something today. If you are connecting this module, you have to pay very close attention how to connect it. One wire wrong and the whole module won't work. So keep a close eye on that. But other than that, it's pretty simple to install and very easy to use. You have no LEDs, no switches, nothing to do. Just connect it and use it, which is very nice. Okay, with that said, I hope you have enjoyed this test, and we will see us in the next one when we do something else. Bye!